Hercules Dev Diaries, we learn more about the champ coming next month. Special featured crystals coming, bust out your wallets. Ronin changes. What changes? As we look at the champ's spotlight and responses, and some players are asking about the Summoner Preaching calendar. Hercules Dev Diaries, we learn more about the champion that's coming next month. Special feature crystals coming, bust out your wallet. Ronin changes. What changes? As we look at the champ's spotlight and responses from Kabam, and again we ask, where is the Summoner Appreciation calendar? Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Monday. And before we go anywhere, please remember to do the solid by hitting the like button, as well as subscribe with post notifications on all, and follow on Discord, Twitter and all that lovely stuff. Links are always in the bios if you want to follow me on social media, and as well the Discord as well. And just before getting into the news for today, we've got to give thanks, and thank you so much to those that support the channel as YouTube members and as well as Patreons. You're on screen now. Thank you for all the love and support. Also, those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live should be doing some Act 7.2 grind later today and some Call of Duty Warzone with the lads as we normally do. So make sure to come to Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you can give a free Twitch sub. That would be very helpful. And as well, thanks to those that give the tier 1 subs, that give gifted subs, give bits and donations. Thank you so much, and see you later on today for the live stream. Now, we kick off the show with a little bit of a reminder. If you don't know, myself and Dan, Frontline MCOC, do our own podcast. Once a week, it's called the Contest Round Podcast. And this week we do discuss Summer of Pain and also the player narrative push to Thronebreaker, Loki Episode 3 and a Shang-Chi trailer. We incorporate a little bit of MCU stuff into this deep dive, so it's always great when there's something going on MCU wise that we can talk about. So yeah, go and check it out. Link is in the description. There's available on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes podcasts. All the links are there. Right, into the MCOC side of things, and we look at the featured crystals. Yes, the featured Cavalier crystals, Grandmaster crystals. Yes, Kabam are looking for you to part with your unit so close to July 4th. How kind of them to do that. And there's this new kind of like spin. Normally, like, they're just like the standard percentage, but I think these might be increased percentage of take home with featured. So yeah, this is cool for some people that, you know, like to spend a bit or have some extra units that they're not going to be using for July 4th. Save for July 4th. But as of the June 29th, 28th to the 29th, there will be a drop of very special type of crystals. This is today, by the way. And there may be certain champions you want to target. For example, Aegon, possibly, as a 6-star you want to target, or 5-star, whatever. I say there's a bit of kind of a grimace about me, because I'm like, it's RNG at the end of the day. Yeah, I've got lucky with some free Cavalier crystals, but at the end of the day, it's like, it's too close for me too close to July 4th for me to be thinking about this. Especially, you know, if people want to target, they want to target. Good for you. There's some good stuff on offer. You know, Shang-Chi's there. I know a lot of players are interested in that. There's also Guillotine 2099, Warlock, Human Torch, yeah, Aegon, Doctor Doom, you name it. There's probably something there that you're like, oh, I'd really like to get. Cosmic Ghost Rider, yum, 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 yum. But let's face it, the chances of you getting it is very slim. So a lot of the time you will be looking to invest. Kabam have also said utilize the hashtag MCC Vault on social media to alert other summoners which champion crystals have been spotted. Get everyone around the socials. And let's check out what these socials have to offer. Just a reminder to not waste your units on crap RNG based Cav crystals. Okay. XN. Oh, you know, who are people looking for? Yep, someone after the Shang-Chi. And that's pretty much it. So we'll see what happens later on today. I may post to say, hey, this person's thing is there. But apart from that, it's up to you whether or not you feel you want to spend on them, or at least use your units on them. So close to that July 4th marker. We're actually like, you know, I think it's by the end of the week, or it will be like over the July 2nd to like weekender type event. Okay, now on to Hercules Episode 5 Dev Diaries. A very interesting deep dive into the creation of characters, and as well the pitfalls, problems and things that happen from creating them, from VFX not working correctly right the way through to you know, just kind of creating characters can be a very strenuous process, but at the same time you got a little bit of a look behind the scenes on stuff and understanding like the amount of time that goes into quality control. Sometimes things don't work out correctly, but as well the extent of the build of the champion and the testing of the champion, which Kabam John does against various different bits of content, even own created fights to kind of realize and theorize whether or not Hercules is overpowered, powered enough, needs more additional tuning, and when he can be a decent asset. To learn more about this, as well as find out a little bit more about Hercules himself, follow the Dev Diary series or check out the link in the description down below. Now, we've got to talk about Ronin. As a lot of you know, Ronin is one of the champions that's going to be buffed next update. And there's been a bit of a talk about his kit. Now, I didn't do a video on this because I didn't know if there's any reason to kind of like cover this, because it's not a huge amount of change. But it could change the way that the playstyle for the champion plays out. We're going to look into this in a moment. I'm trying to really find out like the extent of like what the changes are going to be and how it would impact. I mean, there's a point by Rocky Panther X who says this buff does kind of feel like they dodged every single thing Ronin needed fixed and focused on the one thing he actually is decent at: damage. He needed a less stressful playstyle and more utility. The ability accuracy reduction still doesn't play into his kit at all and is still impractical compared to 20 other champions. The change to the signature is nice, and I believe the change to 3 cruelties is what prompted the bleed immune cooldown. Otherwise, he could probably play like Ghost in bleed immune matchups, consistently gaining cruelties fast enough to evade every special and get combo openings. His damage might get a bump, especially with deep wounds, but like the Nova buff, this isn't going to change the position of the champion within the game at all, which to me makes it a waste of effort, to be honest. Which definitely felt like that was a logical take on the situation as to an assessment. Kabam Mike responds to a lot of this because there was a big kickback on the forums about this because it just didn't really feel like either number one, they were changing what seemed to be like the playstyle of it, or number two, it just seemed that there wasn't anything being changed at all. And that's really the thing, you have to like feel whether or not the champion feels like it's ramped up in any kind of damage, as well as signature ability and other stuff as well. But Kabam Mike says, thank you for the feedback, everybody. I want to remind you all that when we set out to do more champion updates, we said that there are 3 types: overhauls, moderate updates, and value only. This is a good example of value only update. Ronin is a champion that we are fairly happy with when it comes to the contents of his kit, but thought he could do with some number changes to give him a little bit more viability. In the past, we've definitely overdone the value only update, and some were closer to moderate. Our monthly list of champions to buff are selected for a number of reasons, but the combined capacity is one of them. If Ronin didn't receive his buff, another champion would have received one of the same caliber. This would not have prevented somebody from getting a more extensive buff. You should continue to expect varying levels of buffs, some being small, some being large. We cannot remake every champion every month, and when there is already a champion with a good kit that needs a slight boost to get to where they would be more viable, we will do that. I mean, Kathmandu has this take to say, so lackluster, my excitement for waiting on buffs has become completely numb. Nova, Daredevil has Hell's Kitchen, Ronin. Does Kabam think that these changes are enough for players to invest and use their resources on? I was optimistically expecting better. Kabam Mika says these buffs are not solely for end game players. In fact, I think if I could have said they're not really aimed at end game players at all. Giving more players more options for champions to deal with certain challenges really benefits players with smaller rosters, though you'll still get a champion update every now and then that really skyrockets a champion to the top of everybody's roster. I'm not 100% sure where this take from Kabam is kind of like directing or kind of talking about. Is it going to be referring to those players that say are newer to the game, finding that they've picked up a 5-star Ronin, for example, and gone, right, well, I'm going to use that in the likes of Act 5 or kind of like Act 4 or wherever that's going to have purpose very early on, to a point where, you know, you compare it against like stuff like doing Abyss, Grandmaster Gauntlet. Would I be using, or would I have used that particular champion for that particular bit of content? No. So it's just really finding like, well, what's Kabam's ethos? What's their mantra? What's their thought process for this particular champion and many others that are in that kind of like kind of mid-level of usage for players? Yes, they are used, but they're not used quite so much because of maybe kit. Maybe it's a case of rotation of usage. Maybe it's a case of various different things. Maybe even like, you know, Cavalier difficulty on a monthly basis. There's been quite an extensive discussion without kind of like going into everything. There seems to be like this differing thought process within the player base. Like, should he have more to his kit? So utilities or kind of suppressions, or should it be a case that his damage numbers are increased? I think that's the thing of finding out, well, what players feel is fine or not fine. So that's going to be the telltale sign. When the champion's in and updated, how he feels different when, you know, when people are playing around with them. So yeah, a very, very unusual and imbalanced situation. Now, some people as well have asked about the Bishop Spotlight. Just going to put you in the know on this one. Tomorrow, 10 AM PST, is when that's going to be released. I know it seems like it's a bit staggered and a bit odd because we had the first one for the month, then we had the other one, and then we have another. It's just like it's broken down in a slower process of reveal of information. So that's really to look out with that if you want. The Bishop one, it's tomorrow, 10 AM PST. So look out for that spotlight. Now let's move on and talk about, again, I recently talked about this, and that is the Summon Appreciation Calendar. There seems to be over the weekend, over the last few days, this big kind of push to want to find out, like, when is the info going to drop? Why hasn't it dropped? Why aren't we finding out more about this? And there is a very good reason, and it's all part of the process. As I explained in a previous video, the process of when you find out about the Summon Appreciation Calendar, if Kabam do it for a third year in a row, this information won't be dropping to at least early July. How do I know this? Well, in previous years, it has dropped that kind of way. Back last year, on the 2nd of July 2020, I did a video, Prof. Hoff did a video, various other people did videos. So that is largely when this will drop information. And to give you like an idea, that is at the end of the week, so it's on Friday. So if we are to get this, it'll either be a case of like, it will drop 1st of July or the 2nd of July, depending, because obviously that's when we made the content and the videos to kind of do the reaction to them. And the only reason I'm deciding to make another kind of like point to make a video on it is that I just see lots of people in the forums asking the question. There's this that sprung up yesterday, and it's already like, I think that nearly like 2,000 views, which means that a lot of people like the free stuff. And don't get me wrong, I like free stuff too. I especially like the Summon Appreciation Calendar because it is completely amazing, and I do think that Kabam will end up buffing it from last year to what it is this year, if they decide to do it, because it's a big thing. We don't know if they're going to do it, but we've got a matter of days to find out. In fact, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 4 days to find out whether or not Kabam are going to be doing this, as I just check my calendar. So yeah, that's just kind of, again, puts people in the know on that if you're curious, because people are curious. And now we've got to finish off Marvel Contest of Champions News Monday, as we always do, with arena results and predictions. There is a big shocker when it comes to the results over the weekend. It's going to really surprise you. And that is that Overseer went a lot higher than expected, and Luke Cage went a lot lower than expected, especially for a 6-star. Okay, so where do we start here? Right, so predictions wise from round 1, I was a bit off the mark with the Overseer 6-star prediction. Everything else, fine, spot on to a degree. That degree is the shock of Luke Cage, which we'll begin with right now. So position 88 was got with 32 mil. Position 100, 31.8. See, the margin there is ridiculous. And that is going to be very difficult to predict what's going to happen with round 2 if people are looking for a sneaky 6-star. If we go by the Stealth Suit Spider-Man scenario, which if you're not familiar, in round 2, Stealth Suit Spidey went a lot higher, then you're going to have to put in a little bit more. And that's going to be the big shocker here. That's why I've gone with the prediction being 45 mil for round 2. By the way, all predictions are down below as they normally are, and also on screen. Right, also the 5-star went for, and this is the thing, this is position 266, 15 mil, right? Position 386, 12 mil. So you can only imagine a 5-star is going ridiculously low. So if you're looking to pick yourself a cheeky 5-star and even a 6-star, this is a good opportunity for your round 2. But that's my concern. Lots of people may do exactly the same. What else? But also, I just want to say massive thank you to the Discord for putting in loads of like arena results. I really need some Summoner Trial stuff if anybody's got it, because it does really kind of like help out, kind of put that in. A lot of people are asking about like, okay, well this and this with Summoner Trials, and I would like to do it. I would love to do it, but I just need more info. And now let's move on to Overseer. So Overseer went a lot higher than I thought, a lot higher. Position 43, which I've only got so far for the 6-star and nothing close to that 100 mark. But look, position 43, 151 mil. It's really high. Position 121, 135 mil. That is not great. 115 mil, got position 141. 58 mil, got 213. Again, these are all 5 stars. 43 mil flat, 476 position, so it's 5-star. And then 42.2 got the 1 to 5%, but also 39 mil, and I've seen like lower than that get 1.5, 1% to 5% on that. So that has been the results. That's the results, and my predictions are below for you to check out. But also, you know, 145 mil for 6-star Overseer, 55 mil for 5-star. Luke Cage 45 mil for the 6-star. Luke Cage 5-star, 22 mil. But do bear in mind that it could fall into the realms of the Stealth Suit Spidey, which is round 2 goes ridiculously high and could just give you pain. So be wary on that one. And there we go. That has been the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Monday. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to share, make sure to support and all that stuff. And I shall see you all very soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.